surgery. He's only just got it back. Up to the flint wall. David, you can breathe again.
A little bit close to the edge, but he's having a red hot go, isn't he? Roaring Butcher then heads up towards the timing line. The best touring car time to beat is a 53.1 from Rick Wood in the Holden, which has got bags more power, but the little Toyota is going to come across the line and just misses out. 53.89. So very, very good effort indeed by the Toyota Corolla. Now this is Jake Hill, who is another British Touring Car Championship star. He was 6th overall in the Shootout qualifying session yesterday. It's a 1992 Nissan Skyline. It's got four-wheel drive, it's got bags of grunt, it's got a really fast driver behind the wheel. This promises to be quite a ride.
Well, it wasn't short of grunt, and only 0.08 of a second down on the fastest of the 100 metres charges off the line, so plenty of power. Jake Hill, such a fantastic young racer, using that very well for the drag to the first corner. Neat and tidy through the two first right-handers, up park straight, absolutely fine. Malcolm, let's have a look at his line. Oh, very tight to the left, being very, very sensible indeed. Can he carry this momentum, David, up to the flint wall? Then I'll hand over to you. Let's see where he is on the split, coming up shortly.
He's very, very fast, very, very committed. The best touring car time to beat is a 53.13 through Carnet's seat, heading up towards the flying finish, close to the bales. Here comes the line, here comes the timing beam, and he goes fastest. 48.96 for Jake Hill. Fantastic effort. Fastest outright in the Nissan. Brilliant effort.
He was sixth overall yesterday, but that's not only one in the touring car class of the Shootout. What a run.
Sam Hancock blasts away in the BMW then. So Jake Hill fastest in that saloon set, and Sam Hancock takes us then into the last 10 in the main shootout in this 1979 BMW M1. This is a brilliant car.
It really is. It sounds fantastic, and we heard from Sam earlier talking about the ability with a little bit more height to ride the camber in the hill, and is that umbrella's starting to go? Or was that an old bit of footage? You don't want run from Jake Hill in the Godzilla Nissan, but right now he's probably good for second overall. Just looking to see if any windscreen wipers are coming on. Looking out the window, can I see rain? But we did see that umbrella.
Well, 6th goes Sam Hancock, 54.34 then in the BMW M1 Pro car. But from here on in, we're going to just get faster and faster and faster machinery. Jim Farley, Ford's CEO, with the Ford Mustang Mach-E 1400 is next to whistle away from the line. This is electric technology. This might not look like the most obvious of competition machines, but this is incredibly quick. And in fact, a driver swap, Richard Westbrook takes over this car, and that's going to make it go even faster, because as more umbrellas do come up, Richard Westbrook is now hunting for traction. If the weather is against us, this is going to turn the complexion of the shootout upside down.
Absolutely it will, because the drivers who are fastest in qualifying will be the last ones to go, and therefore they might have the wettest surface. But don't forget, here on the hill, we had rain yesterday, literally just at the finish line, nowhere else, and it was a deluge. I don't think we're heading there, but the track has to be giving the level of grip it can, and the drivers have to interpret that. When they often can't see it, they flash past the flint wall. But Richard Westbrook, very good run from him thus far.
Yeah, Richard, a very accomplished GT racer for Porsche, for Corvette, for Ford, and he heads towards the finish. It's not going to be the fastest, is it? It's going to be a 54.85 for the Mach-E. Richard Westbrook then being given driving duties to go 7th. So now we look to the Ford Puma Hybrid Rally 1. This is next year's World Rally Car. Rally 1 regulations, and away blasts the Ford Puma. It is Adrian Formeau at the wheel. The time to beat Jake Hill's 48.96. Let's see what he can do.
Well, at the moment, Jake Hill sitting on that advantage of 3.3 seconds, but this is a car that should be fantastic on the hill. Matthew Wilson at the wheel. He's taken it over from French racer Adrian Formeau. Maybe he's pulled rank because, of course, M Sport, the family company, helping to develop this car, the hybrid power. Windscreen wipers on, even down here. He kicked up the dirt, a very strange line, trying to go too deep into Malcolm, and then he had to rescue it. So certainly even below our commentary box, now we're just getting the first splashes, but is it wet at the top as well? But we normally get the rain at the top.
Four-wheel drive, so it could be very much a Travis Pastrana run, this, as Matthew Wilson heads towards the line. I think he's lifted a little bit, hasn't he, just to be on the safe side with the conditions. So for Jake Hill, he got that time in at just the right moment. 54.55 for Matthew Wilson as he goes across the line. Next to go is this fantastic Ford Fiesta Pikes Peak. It's four-wheel drive, it's 800 brake horsepower. It's Ian Gwynn behind the wheel. Now this could be a dark horse for the top three. Blasts away, a little bit hesitant off the line, but he gets up to speed now. Up through the gears, speed building, power kicks in. Ian Gwynn hits turn one.
Now, of course, when you're competing the Pikes Peak Hill Climb, it goes up to 14,155 feet, and the big problem at the top is that altitude really affects the engines. Don't think we have that concern here in the South Downs in southern England, but taking the shortest line possible, the little kick to the right over the crest. How can he get through Morecambe? Neat, tidy, and then that 800 horsepower being released up the hill.
So he's a little bit down at that first sector point in the intermediate. How does he fare? Let's see, 36 seconds to beat. Now he's lost a bit of ground there as well. With all of that power, trying to be careful as to when he applies it. Now, can he claw back some of that lost ground here? No. A 48.9 is going to be very hard to beat right now. He skims the bales coming up to the line. 54 seconds. Yeah, just 54.96. Goes ninth fastest. Ian Gwynn in the Ford Fiesta Pikes Peak.
One of the hard things to assess is just how wet the track is becoming. It doesn't look out of the windows of the commentary box that it's almost any different, but for those at the top, most especially Jake Hill, suddenly the excitement is really building. Maybe the realisation from outside the top 10, 6th overall in qualifying, of course, he can take the big prize. But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Anthony Reid in the Ford Escort Cosworth blasts away. Single-seater racer, sports car racer, touring car racer in a rally car. The ex-Carlos Sainz Escort WRC that Anthony has been given driving duties in for the first time this weekend, and he has taken to it like a duck to water. Expect commitment here.
Well, that might be appetite, a duck to water, but no one tells Anthony it's raining. He comes from Scotland, he knows full well the value of rain, and therefore he would have spent his childhood driving in it before he moved down south, bested himself near the circuit here in Goodwood in his Formula 4 days, and pressing on really hard. He wasn't expecting to drive the car, and he is very, very quick and very committed. 2 seconds down, bearing in mind how others who could have been quicker weren't. That means Anthony is not paying attention to the rain at all.
So here he comes up towards the line, 48.9 to beat, again close to the rails on the outside. It's a 51.6, goes second fastest. It's Jake Hill's Nissan, Anthony Reid's Escort, Kenny Atchison Sauber, the top three. Jake Hill can't believe this. The Praga goes next. This is the Praga R1, and the time that it has to beat is 48.96 seconds. The Praga blasts away from the line, down towards the first corner. Alice Jurasek at the wheel.
Every single driver that fails to beat him raises the pressure on Jake Hill, sitting at the top, fastest in the Nissan. I'm so impressed with Alex Jurasek and the really immaculate little tiny sports racer, the Praga R1. Look how neat and tidy it is, and that is the beauty of this car. But it's a question, can Jurasek, he's only 0.3 of a second down as he sweeps left through Morecambe. This is the point at which, with flecks of rain on the camera lens, yes, where is the rain at the heaviest? Is it heavy, or is it just enough to make the track a little bit slick? Good on the split, not enough to topple Jake Hill, but he could go into second place.
Let's not talk about the rain, it might go away. 48.9 to beat. Alice Jurasek up towards the line. 47.48 is going to be about 50 seconds as a prediction. 51 indeed, 0.38. Goes second, but Jake Hill survives. Another car goes up the hill. There is Jake. Great effort. Well done, Jake, so far. And he is the fastest. Now this could change things. From 1988, the Group C2 Spice Cosworth. Jeremy Smith at the wheel. He had not driven the car until this weekend. He is always massively committed when it comes to the Goodwood hill climb, normally in champ car machinery. Just watch this.
He always attacks. He's almost always in the top handful of the drivers here. Doesn't always have the ultimate machinery. This one even had a gearbox failure. He had to go up to Birmingham, get a new gearbox, come back down on Friday night, fitted it yesterday, been fast ever since. Fantastic through Morecambe. What a line.
Faster than Jake Hill to that first intermediate. So this is looking good. All of a sudden, Jake Hill quicker at the first intermediate point there as he heads now towards the finish. Absolute commitment into this car. 48.9 to beat. 45, 46, 47.1. Jeremy Smith goes quickest.
Well, Fair dues, says Jake Hill at the top, but that took a drive of supreme focus and his line through the flint wall. I think you might be looking at the timing screen, David. It was exquisite. Right, new target time. Who's the man who's going for it? It's Harry King, the young superstar in the Porsche.
20-year-old Harry King, the reigning Carrera Cup Great Britain champion. You're riding with him in the 992 iteration of the 911 GT3 Cup Porsche. Harry King is one of the most exciting young British drivers in a GT car, and just look at this!
That was to the edge and almost beyond in front of Goodwood House. Only 2 drivers to go after Harry King. The target time, we've just seen it being set by Jeremy Smith, 47.16 seconds. He's got more power, Jeremy Smith, than Harry King, but Harry King just 15/100ths of a second down just before he flashed into Moulcombe.
He goes past the flint wall. He was hard to pull that back, but Harry King fighting the car up towards the line. He's giving it everything. His foot pressed through the bulkhead then to try and get every last thousandth out of it. He goes across the line, goes second. 47.65. Harry King goes second fastest. That was another run full of commitment. Harry King has become something of a Goodwood hero after his exploits this weekend and at Speed Week.
Now, go on, next one, last one, penultimate one.
This is the McLaren 720S GT3X, Rob Bell at the wheel. This is a GT3 Plus car in a sense, and he's got to try to beat a 47.16, the penultimate car to go.
Rob Bell said he was a novice here, he'd been here long ago, but this is his first time to attack, and what a car to do it in. It's not the GT3 car, it's GT3 plus, but precision is required to align that with power. He's faster by a full second before Moulcombe, so is it going to come down to a straight shootout between him and Travis Pastrana? Has that flurry of rain gone past? But look at the next split, he should be faster than that as well. 1.25 seconds to the good.
This is going to put Rob Bell at the top of the times unless it all unravels in the last few hundred metres then. The time to beat is a 47.1 and he's blitzed it! 45.01, 2 seconds quicker, 135 miles an hour through the speed trap at the end. Brilliant stuff. One more car to go, Bruce.
That was just remarkable. He joined all the sectors he's learnt through the previous 3 days and absolutely nailed it. Now, if you ever want to see concentration, look at an onboard shot of this man, Travis Pastrana. Let's check when he next blinks. We think it'd be when he crosses the finish line.
Psyching himself up. The last car to go in the shootout here at the Goodwood Festival of Speed. It's go! Travis Pastrana blast away from the line in the Subaru WRX STI. Total commitment, total concentration. Through the first 100 metres, he's faster than anybody.
Nearly a second to the good before he even turned into the first corner. The acceleration of that Subaru, absolutely mighty. Even a thumbs up, that was to you, David.
Look at this, heads up the hill, Moulcombe corner beckons, he brakes, the nose dips, charges through the corner, flat out now, back up through the gears, another gear grab, he's heading towards flint wall. The time to beat, remember, is now 45.01.